This company started with a simple question. At the time, I was working on bison, and I was trying to understand what bison eat. We'd go through, wait for them to defecate, collect that poop, and then sequence the plant DNA that had made it through their digestive system. We end up with a list of all the plants that they were eating. And when we saw that list for the first time, we realized that we had misunderstood these animals. And it was our thought that we could help build better science, a better foundation for making decisions by helping other people have the same type of data that we had for bison. And since we've started, we've determined the diet for on the order of 100 different species across the world.
We now know that DNA tools and sequencing in particular are really valuable for exploring the world around us. Our goal is to let people know how those tools can be used. Our clients include ranchers, water quality managers, wildlife biologists, research scientists, the beekeeper that wants to know where their bees are foraging.
Any good ecologist will have a freezer of poop. We'll get poop from all over the US. We'll get hawk poop from Utah. We'll get pig poop from South Carolina. We'll get fish poop from streams in Ohio. And each one of those represents a question that somebody has about what is happening in their backyard, in their ecosystem. What we work with is often referred to as environmental DNA, or eDNA for short. There's many flavors of sequencing DNA. One of those techniques is called next generation sequencing, or NGS. The benefits of NGS for us as a company, for us as scientists, is that we're able to sequence relatively long strands, and there's a relatively low error rate. It's less expensive. We often get better taxonomic resolution to understand what's present in a sample, and we can do it faster. Jonah Ventures wouldn't exist without NGS. We've tried other techniques. By and large, 95% of what we do and what we rely on is NGS.
And we can select our run if we've pre-uploaded it to BaseSpace.
I had long been of the opinion, we don't need our own sequencer. And there are a couple things changed our mind. One was the declining cost of DNA sequencers, so it actually became feasible for a small company like ourselves to purchase our own sequencer. And two, they've become more reliable, more user-friendly, and also it really helps us with turnaround time.
Sometimes it's a much larger project and we'll need a HiSeq, or we'll use a NovaSeq on that. But there are other questions that we have to answer that are much smaller in scale, and we can't wait 2 weeks to get data back. And that's where the iSeq has been particularly helpful. We can get data back in less than 48 hours. It's in-house, we can control everything about how the samples are prepared for that, how they're added, and then eventually sequenced.
Looking ahead, I think there's going to be broader adoption of these approaches, moving beyond just environmental monitoring by wildlife agencies to anyone that wants to use them, whether they're members of the general public, people working in government agencies, private landowners, or just even a fisherman that's interested in knowing what's living in the water where they like to fish.
We can't see DNA. We can't see it in ourselves, we can't see it in plants, we can't see it in water, but it's there. And we've never had a tool to actually read what that DNA was. It'd be the equivalent of knowing that libraries existed, but not being able to pull a book and read it. And now we have that opportunity to go into libraries, pull books, and read every single word of what's being written.